Hello and welcome to another Delboy video, and I'm going to continue my series of statues that I've bought. Now, I've been a collector of comics and statues for years, and I used to collect small and large ones, mostly by Bowen and Sideshow, but I have been known to buy some littler sort of like statues made out of PVC. Now, last year I heard that one of the comic book artists of Spider-Man, Todd McFarlane, was going to do a Marvel line. I got very interested in this. And what I did find out, though, that put me off was that certain ones were only going to be available in the States and from specific stalls like Walmart and Best Buy or Better Buy. Can't quite remember what the store's called. So when I found out that this particular statue was an American store only, I got a bit depressed. But I looked around and perseverance, I found a store in the UK that actually had this and at a very sensible price. Now, Sideshow statues, when they first came out, were like £175 for the full size things. This is a much smaller size, made out of PVC. It is more like a toy line. But I looked at the YouTube videos and the detail was amazing. So this is my first one that I'm showing of a PVC statue that I've got. And it's of the Green Goblin, a major character in the history of Spider-Man and a favorite of mine. When I was introduced to Spider-Man and my father bought me my first comics, I got very interested in this character. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was because he was so menacing looking. He soon became a fan favorite and basically is a sort of like a menacing horror type character. I think that's probably what it was. He was just drawn so menacing and dark that I thought, wow, this is a character I can get into. So I'm just going to show you the box and I'll switch it on. You're going to see me just gently when I switch this on. There we go. Because I might as well show you the box before we go any further. So this is, I think, a 10th scale PVC statue. Comes in a lovely box. It shows a depiction of the Green Goblin based on a cover. Now, this cover is Amazing Spider-Man 312. And this is around about 14 issues in of Todd McFarlane's run on the Amazing Spider-Man. You can see the comic book image that's there. It's part of the Inferno storyline. And it was the Green Goblin battling the Hobgoblin with Spider-Man caught in the middle. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting one. There were so many other covers that they could have done. But this one took my fancy. So where does the Green Goblin come from? Well, we'll talk about that in a moment, because I'm going to take it out the box and then talk a little bit more. So I'll be back in a moment. And we're back, and here he is outside of the box. And I tell you what, it was quite difficult getting him out the box because he was tied in by some little plastic pegs. But what I did find out was that there's also an inner cardboard sleeve that gives a sort of like background design. So I'm just going to switch this back on. And you can see him moving around. See if I can get him spinning in the other direction. There we go. And I was saying about the Green Goblin. Yeah, so the Green Goblin sort of like first appeared in the issue, I think it was 14, drawn by Steve Ditko. And at that particular point, he was just a villain that turned up. There was nothing special really about him other than the weird design. He even flew on a broomstick. But later on, that was changed to a sort of like a bat type design. And at that point, he tried to be a crime lord. Now, all the way through this, there were little clues on who he might be, because he was always a masked villain. And it got to around about issue 36, I think, where we were introduced to someone called Norman Osborn. And we found out that that was the father of Peter Parker's best friend, Harry Osborn. And a couple of issues later, Steve Ditko left and John Romita came on, because there was going to be the grand reveal. And the grand reveal of the Green Goblin turned out to be Peter Parker's best friend, Harry Osborn's father. And they both found out who they were each. Peter Parker being Spider-Man, Norman Osborn being the Green Goblin. And a big fight happened. And the Green Goblin lost his memory. And from that moment on, Peter Parker was in jeopardy of wondering whether his memory would come back. He'd lose his friendship. But more importantly, this villain, being as dangerous as it was, would then attack all the friends and family. So that's where sort of like the Green Goblin came to be a very psychological character in the storyline of Spider-Man. So I'm going to stop this now, just here. And just turn it around and we'll see if we can get some detailed images of it. Quite difficult because I'm going to be using a tripod, but we'll do the best I can. So I'm going to knock this down a little bit and go around. And you can see what this little PVC figure is like. Now, like I said, not made of any polystone or china or anything made out of a statue. This is made out of plastic, PVC. But the detail on it, it's just quite incredible. See if I can turn it around. You can see it all from all angles. That menacing face. Just amazing. I just think that this is really good. And if you want to know what the price is, it's about £25. $29.99 is the most expensive I've seen it at. And it's just gorgeous looking. Just think it looks lovely. From all angles. It just looks, and you can imagine what this would look like with a companion piece, you know, of Spider-Man. Just think it looks lovely. I'll see if I can remove the cardboard. There we go. And you might be able to see him from all angles. So there he is there. Just turn him around and you can see the back. You can imagine what sort of like photographic angles you can make of this particular piece. Now just think for the price. It's just amazing. Now I've only given a sort of like a brief outline of this particular character, you know, and the price, you know, $29.99, £25. Very, very cheap. See if I can put this down a little bit. So I'm doing the best I can here. And you can see him in all his glory. And just to let you know, he also comes with a little card that I've just noticed glued to the box. So there he is. And he also has this little card, which is a reproduction of the comic book with some details on the back. So you get the statue, a cardboard artistry look at the Green Goblin, and the statue itself. 10th scale, $29.99. And I just think, for the price, that is just lovely. And See if I can just get a closing shot. Zoomed in. Very difficult when you're by yourself trying to do this. And I'll see if I can turn him around a little bit. And there we go. So I hope you like this video. It's just something brief. And I'm hoping to show off some more of these statues. And with that, I'm going to say salute. Thanks very much for watching. I love my statues. I ought to do more videos of them. And I'll see if I can find some time to do so. And with that, bye-bye until the next one.